Welcome everybody back to the TheDomCast episode 41. Got my co-host with me, Ian Ross. Say what's good.
What's up?
How y'all doing?
Yes, we are doing great on this Friday the 13th. Wow, Friday 13th into December. This week there is honestly not been a whole lot going on, so we generated some topics here. It looks like a lot of the best games are like coming up next week. Tonight, got the Lakers and Heat. That'll be really good. There's some interesting things going on in the standings. Some trade rumors because I think sometime this month a lot of the teams become eligible to like trade a lot of their roster, something like that. So, but we'll get to the trade rumors and all that. I actually wanted to start off with a different topic. We'll be talking about the current NBA's, but this actually does tie into it because I tweeted out earlier in the week. It had quite a bit of reach too, basically telling people to name today's superstars in the NBA, and got a lot of interesting lists. And because of that, he saw that and he wanted to discuss like what is a superstar and what's the difference between a superstar and a perennial all-star. Because on these lists, it was a pretty glaring omission. Everybody was omitting Lillard. Like nobody put Lillard as a superstar. So do y'all have Damian Lillard on y'all superstar list? Because you brought this up, so I assume you had,
I had him as a superstar, and I had Westbrook as a superstar.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, like
because he wasn't on there either.
When Lillard made that shot that in the Thunder series, he was a superstar then, wasn't he?
I thought he was.
I thought he was.
So superstar can't be year by year, right? You can't be superstar just for 1 year.
Yeah, so I guess it's like because I said name all the superstars in today's league. So I guess people's argument, like with what you're saying right now, is just saying Westbrook is having pretty much his worst season because he don't really fit Houston.
Yeah,
so
we all knew that before he went there, but I can still consider him a superstar. You can't be a superstar for one season. This one season after you fall off, you can't. Like, it got to be some type of rule to this.
Well, because last season people would have probably called Jokic a superstar, right? Or maybe they would have said it's too early, let him do his thing for a while.
Yeah, it'll be more of that narrative. Like, yeah, he's a coming superstar.
He's like heading that direction.
Yeah, up and coming. Okay, and this season, I see people saying things like, "Oh, he's just letting his teammates get involved right now, letting the young guys."
No, that's not what it is.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
No, he was just struggling to hit shots.
Plus, he's gaining from weight, so.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I loved Nikola Jokic last year, but I did want people to slow down because immediately, like, through the playoff run, he had immediately in everybody's mind replaced Carmelo Anthony.
Absolutely.
It's like,
I saw that.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, chill, bro. Like, Melo was there for a minute.
That's a hot take.
I was like there for a minute, but people, that was back when people loved to slander Melo. But anyways, back to the superstar. This thing has been, this superstar question. First of all, I think it's kind of subjective because everybody probably has a different criteria for it. And I think this goes back for a while too because this goes back, to the day where people were talking about Chris Bosh not being a superstar when he went to Miami. Because
I know you did a video on what's a superstar.
Yeah, I did one. I did that years ago. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even remember what I said in that one. But it's like it seems like people judge it with winning because right now I'm looking at Lillard and what he was able to do. He was playing really good before the back spasms as well this season, and his numbers are looking good this season. I'm like, okay, if you took what's happening, his individual play right now, and the Blazers were winning, and they were like, maybe 4 seed again, I'm pretty sure he'd be called a superstar in most people's
Okay.
I mean, not only that, but if you just think about what he did in the past, when they traded the whole team away, he still made the playoffs.
Yeah,
and then last year they made it to the Western Conference Finals. So I mean,
yeah,
like he's done.
I thought last year he was legit superstar.
There's last year. There's a year. I was just looking. I did a video with MVP rankings, and he was like 3rd or 4th 1 year in MVP rankings. Like Rod said, perfect point. When everybody ditched him, LaMarcus Aldridge, Batum, when they scattered, like we thought that was a lottery team. We thought that was straight lotto. And now McCollum came through. He plugged his numbers as well. But Lillard was the head of that. Lillard has been the head of what's going on in Portland. And this season, they're just not that great of a team. There's tons of injuries there, too.
Yeah, like Rodney Hood.
Yeah, which is towards Achilles, like on a team that was already thin.
Right. So on your ballot, I mean, the post you made on Twitter, the common names was KD, Curry, LeBron, Harden, Giannis, Kawhi, and AD.
So right there, you didn't have Luka written down as a common name.
Well, I'm saying that was the main people.
Yeah, that was the main things people were saying.
And Luka, based off this season, you have to put him as a superstar, even though it's his second season.
And so, okay, I guess that goes back to the Jokic thing we were just talking about. Because, again, last year, that was a really good year for Jokic. And now, he's cooled off. So maybe last year they would call him a superstar. Because he was MVP candidate last year, too.
Absolutely.
Right now, he's not. So, how does that work for Luka then? Because technically this has only been, he had a great rookie season, no doubt. He wasn't a superstar last year. Right. Technically, this has only been, 2 months now of this Luke sanity, I guess we call it. Yeah, and he just had like a 40-point triple-double last night.
I don't know how you categorize like sophomore players.
Right, because he's an MVP candidate right now as a sophomore.
Like,
so he's an enigma, literally.
Right.
Yeah. And but yeah, you
so
are
it's,
right.
Is superstars is it talent plus fame and popularity, or is it?
Yeah, I think the popularity.
Well, I mean, like a perennial all-star. I think of like an Aldridge or like a Horford. Like that's what I think of.
DeRozan?
I think of. Yeah,
Like
probably the
Jimmy
Rosen.
Butler
Yeah.
is perennial all-star.
Yeah, because I don't say Jimmy Butler is superstar.
Right.
Even though he's really good and like he's pretty much the head of what. See, that's the funny thing. Like, so with him, I wonder what would make people categorize him as a superstar. He's a two-way player,
Right.
and he's the best player in Miami, and Miami's good this year.
Yeah.
But like he didn't pop up, I don't think, once on those names
Not
that
at
you just
all.
written
Not at
down.
all.
Nobody's calling Jimmy Butler a superstar. And I don't think he is either. It's just especially with so many different definitions. It's,
Well, I think all the players we named, you can make a case for them being one of the best in the league. Butler, you can never make that case. He was one of the best. I guess once they one of the best, you got to be at least top 5 at one point in your career.
like all those names that you're talking about are people that you could probably see at one point or another MVP
Absolutely,
candidate, right?
You got to
Yeah,
be an
definitely.
MVP caliber player. You got to be considered at least top 5 at at least one seed in your career.
Okay, well that's interesting then. So was Carmelo Anthony ever a superstar then?
He was top
Yeah,
5 at
definitely,
one point.
definitely
in
he
his
was a
career.
super-
Because he
Nah.
only got one All NBA team. Is that it? Remember when we
One
looked that
first
up?
team.
One first team.
It was positions
Okay.
back then, so you
Right.
ain't gonna get the spot with LeBron, fam.
Just so we can clear this all up, I told Melo was a superstar in his
Absolutely.
career. Yeah, I'm not
About to get flamed.
right. You're not finna have that sound bio. Like,
And he did get one MVP vote, even though the unanimous year.
I just didn't. That was in my video today. That's fucking crazy. The only
but
first place vote.
Carmelo was definitely a superstar. I guess Butler. I never had Butler in that type of atmosphere.
Right. Okay. So based off that, we could say, okay, Butler, amazing two-way player, but not anybody that's like in a legit. Because there's a difference between like, oh, he's in the MVP conversation, and oh, he could actually win it. Right.
Yeah.
There's a difference between that. So Jimmy Butler, even
Was
right
never in
now,
both of those
he's
categories.
never in those. So okay, that helps us, generate more of this definition of what a superstar actually is.
So it's talent based plus you got to have some type of, I guess, like fame.
Yeah, there is a popularity level to it as well.
There's a component because the argument against that used to be like, well, look at Kawhi, but I would argue now Kawhi's pretty damn popular.
Yeah, people know Kawhi is Kawhi.
Yeah,
Like,
and based off of his lack of personality has basically made his personality in the media. We know him as all this stuff that's happened since he went to Toronto, all that marketability, everything that's happened there. So yeah, it plays a part in it though. It's funny. I don't know how they explain it. Like you just know it, right?
I guess you're right.
Like I know what Curry and Giannis have. I know what LeBron has. Yeah, KD. I just know what is there with them. Right.
But the Lillard and Westbrook, Samana said that like when Westbrook is at OKC, he was seen as a superstar.
And okay, a lot of us would agree with that. But then there's a lot of people, because you know how much slander Westbrook gets, but not even just a slander. A lot of people would argue, hey, at the point guard position, he's always been flawed. So he's always had these crazy numbers and all that. But at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, in the modern day, being a point guard, you pretty much need to be able to shoot. Even Rondo can shoot now. You know what I mean?
Come on, you can't base superstar off non-shooting.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is, and again, I'm just going off of what people say.
Okay,
One of the reasons he don't really fit with James Harden right now is because he can't shoot, and because he can't shoot 3-pointers that well, and so he's just standing around in the offense when that ball come to him. I think he should be making more of a decision. Like there was a play in Cleveland where James Harden didn't pass to him, but if he did, I think instead of taking a 3, you could drive and like draw the defense
Again,
in.
but I think I keep messing with it.
Mike D'Antoni.
His system, you shooting threes, fam.
Yeah, you would rather.
I mean,
not.
offense only.
I think that was
But
the play.
I can't remember where I read it, but read somewhere that Mike D'Antoni told Westbrook like, "Yo, you good? Like you good to do your thing because we know you need you to hit somebody."
I heard the same sound bite, but it seems every time the play style they only go on 3-point line, so I don't know which one is the
right.
Because I mean, granted, the offense is let Harden do his thing for 20 odd seconds, and then if he kicks to you, he kicks to you.
Right.
Yeah, and I've always
PJ stay in the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, PJ leads the league in both corners.
Only person supposed to be in that little paint area is Capella.
Right.
So
I've only seen PJ Tucker miss one corner three like all
absolutely,
year.
bro.
But yeah, this is why I said in the Houston team preview, like I would need to see it work to believe it, because like even though they're like 4th right now, they're not even that far out of the mix or anything. But I'm just looking at it. Clearly, the fit between Harden and Westbrook is something maybe throughout the season they'll figure out, but right now it hasn't. But yeah, right now, part of the Westbrook's numbers being down is that role he's playing in. You know what I mean? Part of that is that, but. And the superstar thing with him is just interesting. I mean, I'm under the impression that you can't ever have like won an MVP and not have been a superstar at some point in your career.
That's impossible.
Yeah. My damn superstar was, of course, talent, impact on the team, and like star power, like box office. Man. Westbrook was box office at Thunder. You watched Thunder because of him.
Right.
You know, so that's why I thought all that were component together with a superstar. So I don't know why he's not mentioned. Maybe because you're right, he's not winning. He's not performing good.
And this season, it's a terrible season for him. It's a terrible fit, is what it is. He has his moments. He definitely has his moments. In the beginning of the season too, as well. Like I think a lot of the Houston games were won kind of off of what he was doing at the beginning. But you know, when you're looking between that fit between them, it hasn't been as well. But yeah, no, Westbrook. I personally would not argue that he wasn't a superstar back in like the OKC days or whatever. For the people that do argue that, because superstar, you can have superstars that have something, that's just negative about them, and that's always been Westbrook's like shot selection.
Is Joel a superstar?
Who?
Joel
Embiid, I mean, best big man in the game. Like, what can't he really do? Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out. I'll still, it's not. I guess not a clear definition.
And that's why it's not clear, because if you look at Embiid, what do you think Joel Embiid is a superstar? The thing with Embiid, I seen this argument.
I feel like another aspect is just the uniqueness of your game too.
Yeah, and Embiid, like the era has changed throughout the 2010s, but Embiid was part of that, because like you're a big man that could throw it up from three, even if he doesn't always shoot it well. You know that he can hit that. Then last night he fucking killed us.
Put a hole in y'all, man.
And then the footwork at his size.
Absolutely,
we're gonna get to that definitely. But I did see this because I was looking through Twitter and somebody was like, oh, talking about Embiid being a superstar, but they were like 0-point game, because like he just recently had a 0-point game,
right.
And that's part of what Shaq and Charles were talking about. But I'm like, one terrible game doesn't, like if you have a 0-point game in the season, that don't mean you're not.
Right.
All of a sudden you scrub now.
Yeah, that doesn't say, oh, he can't be a superstar this season. He had a 0-point game. Like, fam, he didn't do what he didn't. The shots didn't fall that game. He didn't get in the positions he needed to that game. Like shit happens, bro.
Okay. In your video, the argument was Kyrie.
Back in the day, right? That from like
is Kyrie a superstar?
Right. I remember.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because people didn't name Kyrie this season. He's not playing much this season.
Absolutely, I understand that.
Right. Yeah, see, so much has happened in Kyrie's career since I made that video. Is the thing.
He's not looking good right now, anyways.
Because the thing, when I made that video with Kyrie, it's like he was an offensive. Okay, different types of superstars too. Kyrie's offensive superstar. You agree with that?
You superstar, man. You can't be a defensive superstar.
Well, because I'm saying, okay, because check it out with Kyrie. Yeah, you can't be. Yeah, Tony Allen. Otherwise, Tony Allen would be defensive.
Yeah, he can't be no Ben
Wallace.
Wallace.
Something else too, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay, but the thing with Kyrie is offensive superstar, definitely best handles maybe in history. Can 3-pointer, get to the rim and all that stuff, but defense not really there. The whole thing that you expect from a superstar with leadership, not really there. We've seen that now. Like that, that hadn't really shown through yet. We'll see what happens in Brooklyn. But is he a superstar in y'all book? I don't know. Because he is an offensive, so you can't argue against Kyrie not being over these last few years being an offensive superstar like that. I would say.
Yeah, like superstars. When I think superstar, I didn't think of leadership at all. To be honest with you,
there's just a lot of intangibles that go into.
I just thought
talent,
impact, and box office.
So based off that, Kyrie would be a superstar to you.
Yeah.
But can Kyrie? Okay, this is what something.
Not all superstar can be number one.
That's what I was about to.
Like Westbrook can't be number one, you know that, but we know he's a superstar.
Because that's what a lot of people that off that list that you read, what people were responding to on Twitter. That's a lot of people's argument is like, if you can't be number one on a team, are you actually a superstar? On a winning team.
But it's not talent. It's just with Westbrook is decision making. It wasn't his talent.
Yeah, definitely not his talent. So he had superstar talent.
And absolutely. Kyrie, this leadership, it was not his talent. I think if it was based off talent, you can't be number one. But it's mostly about intangibles why they can't be number one. And AD don't got no leadership. But Anthony we know he's superstar.
Okay, is that fair to say about AD? Because we never saw him with the team, fam, for 7 years.
So he get a pass?
Well, because I'm saying, okay, Anthony Davis clearly he's one of the best defensive players and offensive players. It's been like that. But when you're in New Orleans for 7 years and the next best player next to you is Jrue Holiday in a crazy Western Conference, Jrue Holiday's a hooper, but that's not a co-superstar to go anywhere in the Western Conference with a thin team. You know what I mean? Where were the Pelicans going all this time? The year that they got Cousins, the rest of the roster is not that great. You know what I mean?
And then Cousins got hurt.
Yeah, and then Cousins got hurt. Like, so AD clearly is. I don't even want to hear that shit. AD's been a superstar, but where was he going in New Orleans? Where was he going? Yeah, so no, he's obviously on that list.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You gotta have him on there.
Yeah, so maybe AD, you know, when you say can he be number one on a championship team? Well, if the team is actually built,
Could Joel be number one?
I think eventually.
Okay.
I mean, with this Sixers team, it's looking like he will be number one because like Ben Simmons is not number one.
Can Lillard be number one?
Can Lillard be the best player on your championship team? Can he be number one? That's because like technically, if you put Lillard with first of all, you have to put Lillard with another star. I think to actually get that championship.
Yeah,
effect.
definitely.
But if you put him with someone like KD, he's no longer the best player on that team.
Yeah, you can't put other people on this list.
Yeah, like you put him with AD, he's not the best player on the team.
You gotta be like
anymore.
like a perennial all-star with him. You can't be like you can't be people above him up there. Yeah.
You see that's the thing that this conversation fucks my mind because there's so many variables that go into. Now we're on the thing of like what does a number one look like then, you know? And is that even actually a criteria? Like, do you have to have been a number one on a team? Because well, like I said, if you build back to the AD conversation, if you build a team around AD, clearly he can be your number one. He does it on offense and defense. Yeah. That there's just like.
Well, I got another question. I guess it's part of this, but not really. With the box office. Was LeBron a superstar his rookie year?
His rookie year?
Like the hype he got.
I mean, I think a thing with LeBron.
I got like this. I'm getting a Luka vibe. Cause Luka sophomore year, he always had the hype.
Because LeBron got significantly.
Did LeBron
get
an All-Star team his rookie year?
No,
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
No, that's a year they said Carmelo actually probably should have been rookie of the year over him.
Yeah, he did have a better.
Because Carmelo took his team to the playoffs.
Right. The thing with LeBron is like again, this goes to media perception. I think that plays a part in superstars. Whole thing with LeBron is he's drafted to the NBA. They say this is like the best high school kid since Kobe or the best player since Michael Jordan, all that. So that aura is already around him. He comes in, he wins Rookie of the Year, then he gets significantly better. But that question of was he actually a superstar in that rookie year though? I mean, the expectations were set there. We knew he was going to get there.
Didn't prove it yet, I guess.
Yeah, because like that year he's averaging like 20 points in his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
And Cleveland was sorry.
Luka, he's a superstar right now, right?
Again, that goes to the conversation of are you one of those people that wants him to do it for an entire year before you call him a superstar yet, or are you going off of like what he's done these last few months? These last few months he got like crazy triple double numbers, and Dallas is winning, I believe,
which is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Kristaps Porzingis hasn't even been that great.
Yeah, all right. He's supposed to be a big two, but now
it's like 1.5.
Yeah, Kristaps is still coming along, but yet they're like third seed and they've got some impressive wins.
So I'm gonna stick with. I got to see a year of this first.
Yeah, let's say this
because Jokic had the same type of he wouldn't put on these numbers, but we was about to pass him the torch on that.
I'll say this, I guess again it goes back to the perception thing. Luka is clearly playing at a superstar level right now. Like this, if this is not superstar level playing, with you have the numbers and your team is winning. If that's not superstar level, nothing is. But I think for a certain group, the people who judge superstars really, who judge it really hard, they probably want to see Luka do this for the entire year. They want to see what happens when you get to the playoffs. Then they probably want to see him come in next year and not fall off. I think that's probably what they want from that too. I think people are just a little bit hesitant to name someone a superstar after a couple of months. So, yeah, with Luka, it's time, but right now it's a superstar level. Like, that's not even debatable.
Yeah, but I agree with that. But you shouldn't just throw labels on people after, 30 games.
Right.
There's still another 50 to go.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then you can qualify that and say if Luka keeps this play up right now through the end of the season, and, he's probably a superstar coming into next season. You look at him as one of the top players in the NBA next season.
Okay, last one on this topic. Is there a step between perennial all-star and superstar? Is there like a midway?
Do you have an example?
Like Paul George. Is he between superstar and perennial all-star?
See, okay. Back to when Paul George was healthy last year, MVPG was a thing.
He was an MVP
candidate. How are you an MVP candidate and not a superstar? Like a legitimate. He placed third last year. I just looked at that. He placed third. So PG was a superstar last year.
Yeah.
Because he was doing it on both sides of the ball as well.
Yeah, but I guess now he's not because he came off injury.
Because he's not on that list you're talking about either, right? People weren't really naming Paul George.
They had him in like the Butler category.
Right. And now he's not leaned on as heavily either. Now you're playing with Kawhi, who's a top 5 player in the league. So
you can be superstar for a season? That's crazy. I'm sorry. I thought it was like, I don't know.
It's so subjective, bro. It's so subjective because PG was an MVP candidate before his shoulders went haywire. He's an MVP candidate. You come to this season, the big thing is Kawhi, PG, then defensive players around them. But you're like, this is a crazy duo. Like, I think it's different for everybody. I think it's literally just different for everybody. different criteria, different things. But
there's no clear cut definition.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's a never ending conversation. But I think you have the people that are like obvious superstars, like you named off. Yeah, you got the obvious superstars, and then after that you have the debatable. Like for some reason, okay, back to because we're gonna be talking about LeBron soon, anyways. But talking about Chris Bosh, people, we've had that argument when he joined the Heat. People don't want him to be a superstar anymore because they don't want to, talk about how good that team was. Yeah. But before he was in Toronto, like they weren't winning or anything.
He had his numbers though.
But yeah, I mean, that people act like he was a scrub like before he
getting it.
See, because that's the crazy. I don't see, because I think based off of what you're saying, I think people will probably say Bosh was like perennial all-star. I think that's what they would say. And they'll go like, oh, he went to Miami. What happened? Like he became more of a spot-up shooter. He's a third-role guy. He was no longer Bosh from Toronto, which he couldn't be. It's a different role. It's a different role he had to fit in. But
was Bosh a superstar when he came, or he was? Was he with the Paul George, like between All-Star?
Let me put it this way.
I don't know his numbers, but I know he had numbers, but I don't know exact rappers' numbers.
Just want to hop into a time machine into 2010. They had a big Yes We Did party with 3 people's face on it. Yeah. They got on stage and said they were so goddamn happy to have those 3. They were talking about 7 championships, which is an exaggeration, but they thought they were going to win more than 2. People were saying, this summer, this has never happened before. 3 players this good and this young at the same time together. Before that summer, before we even knew that was possible, the really key free agents, you were looking at Mari Stoudemire, Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Chris Bosh. He was a part of that. Dirk, we knew Dirk wasn't leaving, but I believe he was a free agent that year too. But that's part of the reason that was such a crazy free agency. That's part of the reason that was such a crazy move. So I don't understand the whole Yes We Did thing. After years later, you say, oh, well, Bosh actually wasn't all this. Like, my dude.
So was people saying he was just like a?
They say he was like an all-star. The main thing they do for him is they say, oh, he was a guy who put up the Kevin Love treatment. He was a guy who put up good numbers on a bad team. Never went anywhere, so it doesn't prove anything. That's what they say about Chris Bosh. That's what they say about Kevin Love as well. They say, yeah, you can do 26 and 13 on the Timberwolves, but you come to Cleveland and I
guess they don't know how a team works when you
when there's only one ball.
Somebody got to sacrifice, fam.
Yeah, and the other thing I don't get about that is if you're Kevin, it's like let's just go to Kevin Love in Minnesota, and you're averaging an efficient, by the way, 26 and 13.
Getting it.
But you're on a team that's not even that good, so the defense can technically key in on
load
out. Can't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not understanding the whole argument of like, what were you gonna say? You were about to say something.
The defense loads up.
Yeah, like I'm sitting here looking at that. I'm like, okay, it's one thing if you're averaging 26 points, but like maybe you're shooting like 30-something%. Then it's pretty clear that you're just shooting you're shooting the bricks off that bitch.
Like, no, his numbers were nice.
Okay, so can you make the same argument for Devin Booker?
Yeah, because I've seen a video about that saying like where they empty stats or whatever. Well, Booker is first of all not a superstar. So, what's your question about?
Well,
Booker,
I'm saying using the same reason like how Love can average those numbers, even probably getting double teamed. You can use the same thing for Devin Booker.
Well, because my understanding,
and he's a wing player, so you know what I mean.
And my understanding for Devin Booker right now is people see him as one of the best young wing players in the league, and and they wanted the Suns to be good this year, so it's not just him wasting his talent.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've never understood the best player on a bad team.
Yeah, because you W all day.
Yeah, because if your numbers and you're being efficient and you're the focal point of that team, and teams know that every night you're the focal point, and you put up MVP consideration numbers. I think Kevin Love was like 7th one year or 6th one year in MVP voting. That doesn't mean shit, but like that means you were being considered. Like I just kind of feel like that means you were, you could hoop, you know what I mean? And then you go and you play. If you're Chris Bosh, you go play with 2 ball handlers and LeBron and Dwayne Wade. What you supposed to do about that? Like,
you're a big man technically, so they're gonna need the ball.
Yeah, he's not taking up the court, so
your numbers are gonna fall. If you're Kevin Love, you're gonna go play with Kyrie Irving and LeBron James as 2 ball handlers. Like, fam, you get out there and shoot threes now.
That's your job, fam.
Yeah, and I guess now people say like Minnesota Kevin Love never came back even once LeBron left and all this. Anyways, that's a great segue into the Kevin Love trade saga, because that's officially started now. I have no clue why he even signed that deal in the first place with Cleveland. He saw dollar signs a couple of years ago.
He signed it after he tore his shoulder where like
rotator cuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it was after LeBron left, wasn't it? It was like that same summer. I thought
it was before he left.
No,
right?
it was
after.
No, check
if it was after, then I don't know what was the plan.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Because this is like the 5-year, $115 million, right?
Something like that. Kevin Love resigned.
Oh, that's right. It was when LeBron bought.
Yeah, it was like as soon as LeBron bounced. Yeah, see, okay, 4 year, 120 million. Yeah, and that's somewhere in 2018. So that's when LeBron left. 4 year, 120 million extension. I remember seeing that. I was like, it's like why? Because like Cleveland after LeBron is like it's desolate. It's like a desolate city. But anyways, there's some interesting stuff with Kevin Love, regardless of why he's in the situation he's in it now. That's a big contract still. That was so only 1 year is full off that contract.
Yeah,
so.
there's still 3.5. 3.5 technically.
So for that reason, teams are asking Cleveland to also
provide a first round pick too.
Yeah, so that it, like I'm taking this contract off your hand. I need a pick too because
because Cleveland wanted to get a first round pick for him. And teams like, nah, we need him and a first round pick. So
yeah,
because of that, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, because they want it to absorb the rest of that money. That's a big contract. But there's some interesting. I think there's about 5 proposals that I saw that were interesting. But I'm not gonna go through all the proposals. Just the teams. They were saying like Kevin Love to the Spurs maybe, which I think that makes the least sense because the Spurs I think they're about to enter some type of rebuild phase at some point.
They're trying to get rid of Rosen.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think like getting Kevin Love to try to make some type of run makes sense at this point. That looks like it's ending to me. The Boston Celtics. I saw a package that made sense there, saying maybe the Miami Heat might want to acquire him because the Heat are in that zone where they're a nice team right now, but you wonder are they really going to make a finals run?
Right.
And then the last one I saw that made sense was the Blazers. So
I know Portland's
that's also his hometown.
Yeah, he's from Portland.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
He's part of the Beach Boys. He's royalty.
Okay. Yeah, people have been trying to make Kevin Love to the Blazers happen for
the
years.
The Beach
now.
Boys or the Pet Boys? I'm not sure. Don't kill me.
Yeah, I don't even know.
But he's part of one of those rock families.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
he's royalty. Like,
learn something new every day. I didn't know. Okay, so what out of these make sense to you? Because like those are, and if there's more that y'all know of, but those are the 4 I'm like.
Okay, what was the package for the Blazers? Like, what was?
Because my whole thing is about making the money work. Because I could see him in some of these situations and be like, I could see that like fit like as a team wise, but I don't know how they're gonna pay everybody.
Right. The Blazers package, I'm not 100% sure. I just find it interesting that if they did make it work, like now you have Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Love, which again, if you're the Blazers, I guess you're just not worried about defense
not
this
at
year.
All. No.
But also, especially now Rodney Hood is out, you might want another.
Yeah.
Tore his Achilles.
I know that.
And they're not getting. I think Nurkic. They said like. Maybe February or March.
Oh yeah.
I think he was gonna get him back.
And that man, he's gonna need another year, I think, before he's true.
And he's not gonna be like 100%. So
I know Hood towards Achilles. I know he went down, but I know Achilles.
I knew it was Achilles from the minute he went down because like it's one of those things where your foot hit the ground before the rest of your body and like you stretch forward a little bit and it's just that happens. Your foot always hits the ground before the rest of your body. I couldn't describe that. How I was trying to, it's just the momentum, like the way you look at his body, like his foot was flat is what I'm trying to say. Before the rest of his body was like in motion with it. I knew that was an Achilles immediately. But anyways, that was the whole reason the Blazers went and got Carmelo Anthony. They needed more front court scoring. So you get Kevin Love. I mean, I guess like what else are the Blazers?
Well, now that Rodney Hood is out and Nurkic, we don't know when he's coming back. Yeah, I think Portland is probably the best one of those 3 teams. Yes, it's no defense, but like, what's Portland playing right now?
Because my thing was just about not necessarily like the fit, but I think it's about the money because of how much he's getting paid, how much Lillard's getting paid, how much everyone else is getting paid. So I
guess if you're the Blazers, this is a down year. Everyone's injured, but you're also looking at Lillard is respected us enough to sign here. Like, let's try to get something together.
He can make that call. Hey, I'm out. I want to be out. So.
Yeah, because we've seen this happen before. We've seen this happen before. And then realistically, who else is coming to Portland in these few years? Like, so I guess
you got to get somebody that want to be there. So
yeah, so I guess you try to get him another player who's been, who's won a championship before, who's been a superstar player or superstar level player before. Kevin Love has played at a superstar level, whether you want to call him a superstar or not. He's played at that level before.
Yeah.
It's been a long time now.
So when it comes to contract, I don't know how the money thing works. So they have to match the money or make the salary.
The salaries have to pretty much match. Like you can't
But they're basically saying that because the reason why they want to pick 2 is that because they probably have to go into like luxury tax. So like pick them up. They're like,
I don't know what big contracts do Portland have besides their main people.
I heard a package. I don't have the packages on the top of my head, but like they do have a way to make the money.
I thought they want that the young one, Anthony Simon. They probably want him in the package too. Right,
because you have to look at this from Cleveland's standpoint too. What makes sense for them? Like they're young. They're not going to
more guards.
Yeah, like they're not about to just offload a talent like Kevin Love for nothing because like they trying to move on from this LeBron era, which who knows if they ever will be able to. Like I said, until Bronny comes back. Miami Heat. That one's interesting. Maybe get some more rebounding down there. The package with the Miami Heat involved the guy,
Hero.
No, hell no. No,
I'm about to
Miami
say.
wouldn't do that. No, no.
What, they want 9?
It's like Joe Budden said, stop. Stop.
Who they want?
No, Duncan Robinson actually was in that package.
The other white boy.
Yeah.
He's nice though.
Yeah. Every time I
Didn't he
turn
have
the
like
TV
10?
on.
Didn't he have 10 threes the other night?
Yeah. I think he's averaging like 11 points a season. Now, that's the question. If you have a package involving like Duncan Robinson and some other players, nothing significant, like no Bam out of ball, nothing like that. Like, those guys are staying. The dudes who are making Miami's core right now is staying. But the thing with Miami, I think a lot of people will see right now is like, yeah, this is a good team, definitely, and a very much a surprise team. But how far are they actually going in the playoffs? Are they going to pass a team like Milwaukee? Yeah. So I guess, their motivation to go out and get a guy like Kevin Love, spruce up the rebounding a little bit.
All I know is waiters got to be part of the deal.
Cleveland's not taking. First of all, Cleveland. Nobody wants waiters. Yeah, no one wants waiters.
He keeps getting suspended.
Yeah, we'll fit that in here because that doesn't even need to be its own topic. Yeah, for those of y'all who didn't know, Dion Waiters has been suspended again. My theory is,
wildin'.
I mean, homie's getting paid for not playing, so he just needs to shut up and take the check.
Hey, Miami just straight up like, hey, they getting that man for petty violations now, right? Like, that man parking the wrong spot for practice or something like that. He like, God, nah, because like I guess he's kind of toxic to have around the team. But the thing is, like, you can't just waive or cut him because like he's on an expensive contract. I didn't really realize that. I think he has like 2 more years left. So like waiving, you had to spend money to like get rid of him. Yeah. So I think they're just trying to suspend this man for the rest of his contract because like they don't want him around the team. They just straight like, nah, like do what you got to do. But it's kind of like Mark Cuban when he sent Lamar Odom home that 1 year. It's like, bro, you don't have to be a part of the team this year. Like, you don't want to be here. We don't want you here. Just like slide. Like, we'll give you money to slide. So yeah, and Dion Waiters has no trade value either. I don't even remember the last time I saw him playing. Like, yeah, everything.
Last thing I remember is the Warriors shot he played against the Warriors.
Yeah, right. That game winning. That's the last picture I have in my head of Dion Waiters. I wish the best to him as a person, but like his NBA career is not it's not going swell right now. So yeah, Miami Heat may be motivated to get him a guy like Kevin Love to try to make a deeper run through the East, because the East is still, as far as I'm concerned, there's not a runaway team right now. Like the Bucks are the best team in the East right now, but like we get to the playoffs, it could still be a couple different teams in the finals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that made me a move. Now the Celtics, this is one package I do know. It would be centered around Gordon Hayward, because Gordon Hayward is also on a expensive contract as well. I'm gonna just let y'all. What do y'all think about that one? In a package involving Gordon Hayward, the Celtics for Kevin Love. Big man. Yeah, because we got 8 the fuck. Yeah, for those of y'all who didn't watch the Sixers game last night,
swat that.
But to be honest, I doubt Kevin Love could do any better.
Yeah, no one's gonna do. Yeah, we don't have a defender for. But that just shows like. That was a masterful move by the Sixers to sign Al Horford, because
his only
right? Because I tweeted, I was like, bro, the Sixers don't, in a series against us, the Sixers don't need Al Horford. They just need him not to be on Boston. Like, that's all they need. Because we had Daniel Tice down there. No one's tall enough, bro. Like, no one's tall enough to contest his shots. I mean, just ate us the fuck up last night. So I don't think we would fare well in the series against Philly. Kevin Love, maybe he would help us on the rebounding front, but he would not. Obviously, he's not finna like go toe to toe with Embiid in the paint. But do y'all think that if that move became available, Cleveland was interested in the Celtics? It's like, hey, we want Hayward.
Well, I'm just saying, Hayward, not one of the wing players.
I mean, Celtics have always had
Brown.
Celtics always had the issue, well, at least a potential issue when Hayward comes back is there going to be enough shots to go around so everyone needs to be fed?
What about Brown and Tatum? They stand?
Yeah, no, they moving up anywhere, bro.
They moving up for Kevin Love.
That's blasphemous to be saying all that.
Hayward
straight up.
It was another thing. Maybe there was another like a pick involved or something like that. No, it was like a pick involved in this package. But the main thing was Gordon Hayward. It's not another important player.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I knew big man, but he's not a defender. So.
He's rebounding though. He can get you rebounding.
He can shoot.
Double-digit rebounding, and he can shoot.
But Hayward can ball too. Hayward was nice before he got injured.
Before he broke his hand, like he was starting to look like how he used to.
Coming back to form, so I don't know, man.
And he looked okay last night.
He's back. Okay.
Yeah, he played last night.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So the thing with Gordon Hayward, being potentially swapped for Kevin Love. First of all, like this wouldn't be the shadiest thing Boston did, because like
I did shadier shit.
Yeah, we've done shadier because Hayward broke his leg.
But getting traded to Cleveland though, like, bro.
Yeah, we've been supporting his comeback and all this, and this season it's finally starting to make sense. He's playing good basketball. Now here's the thing: when you look at it and you do say, okay, our big men are Time Lord, who I don't even think played last night, Enes Kanter, Daniel Tice. I think that's pretty much our big man rotation. Yeah, no defender, but like
no defense,
but like
no blocking.
We could bolster up our rebounding. And the thing you look at if you unload Hayward is, okay, that gets rid of the potential clusterfuck you have in that perimeter because Brown, Tatum, and Hayward, when you're playing small, that makes sense. But it's still 3 perimeter guys. You know, 3 perimeter
Plus
guys who
you
need
got
their
Kimba.
shots. Yeah, exactly. And Kimball Walker.
And also Smart shoots it up too.
Yeah, Marcus Smart didn't play last night. That was another big deal. So Marcus Smart didn't play last night. So yeah, we have a lot of perimeter guys. You're saying, okay, maybe you switch one of those guys out and the money works because we don't actually know if Hayward's ever going to be worth that money again.
Nah, fuck that.
Like,
And then IT their name for do this man. Only reason he went to Boston because of the coach.
Brad Stevens,
Butler days.
Hey,
man.
that would be fucked up, bro. Look,
He broke his leg or ankle or something.
I'm not advocating for this behavior. I'm just saying I understand it. because we don't know if Hayward, he's doing good right now. Been doing good this season, but we don't know if he's ever actually going to be worth all that money we paid.
Is Kevin
him.
Love worth the money he got on his contract?
He could. I mean, he's not. He can pay like a superstar, basically, right?
I'm saying he worth the rest of the money. I'm saying
the thing is though, with Kevin Love, there's no health issues. Like with Hayward, like first of all, he almost had his nose broke the other night, which is not his fault. But that was like one game after he broke his hand.
I mean, they just put a mask on at that point, like
broken hand.
Bubble
A lot
wrap.
of people
do
get
anything.
broken hand now for some
Well, we
reason.
wonder like, okay, how long is this gonna last with your leg though? Like, are you good? Like, are you?
I
really
thought
good?
he was good.
He's good, yeah. For the last few months, he has been definitely. But we're like, okay, are you gonna actually, fulfill this? Or
This man trying to make reasons for this
because you're weighing it against possibly, you still have shooting, but it's not a ball handling. You get rid of that little cluster of like
So would
ball
you do it?
handlers
Would
we
you do
have. Let me keep going. I'm just making it make sense to y'all. I'm just making it make sense to y'all. Because all along with that perimeter shooter, we still have perimeter shooting in Kevin Love. You also get rebounding as well that you don't really get with Gordon Hayward.
I mean, you can qualify, you can justify, you can say anything you want to say. Are you going to throw him under the bus or not?
Hey, I'm just saying if it happens, I'm not gonna be like flipping my shit. I don't want no. Personally, look, I'm having a hard time imagining Boston getting past Philly this year because I don't think the person we need to get past a series like that is really out there.
He's on the other team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the person we need is on the other team, and so Aaron Baines is gone too. We have nobody to challenge Joel Embiid, so we're gonna get ate up in that series. So we're having a pretty good season though, and I'm satisfied with that. I'm not sure if I want to. Add some toxicity to this by also trading Gordon Hayward after we did IT like that a couple of years ago. I don't think Kevin Love is going to turn us into perennial into champions. It's not going to take us from where we are to getting past a Philly team in the playoffs and becoming an NBA champion. So I'm not advocating for the move, but if it happened, I understand it. It makes sense.
It does make sense, but just to save face, let's go to Portland, fam. I don't know, man. It sounds real dirty if they do a buddy like this.
Yeah, because I thought in 2018 when everybody got hurt, I thought that was karma for getting rid of IT basically when everybody was and when Gordon Hayward. I thought that was karma. So hey, man, I like Gordon Hayward.
If y'all do this again, y'all on that type shit.
Y'all cutthroat out there.
Hey man, NBA is cutthroat. Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't think this is actually I don't think trading Gordon Hayward for Kevin Love makes enough of a difference for me to actually want to again have that image of damn, y'all get rid of IT. This man broke his leg and was coming back.
But it does
for
help
y'all.
with the wing problem.
Yeah, again, it unstuffs the wing and adds rebounding. So it makes it's a move that if both teams can agree on something that makes sense, it's a move that you understand it. But again, Kevin Love is not going to make the Celtics champions this year. I don't think that the big man thing is going to be a problem in the playoffs. That's going to be.
But Cleveland got 50 guards too, so I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to have to make a decision if they want to go with
who they want to keep.
Yeah, with Sexton and that
Garland and Kevin.
Because they have a lot of guys right now.
I saw a report that said Cleveland everybody's available for trade except one player. I forgot. It's not Sexton. Sexton was available too, I believe.
Maybe Porter.
I think Garland maybe or Porter. One of those.
Garland he trash. He trash.
Damn word.
Nah, he been trash this whole.
Ain't that
He's 6'1", they the same size and frame. I don't know what the plan was.
I never liked small backcourts. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the Kevin Love thing. The Spurs, to me, like I said, that was the first one we talked about. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, just because the Spurs are probably headed for a rebuild. Kawhi Leonard fucked that all up.
Because DeRozan's in trade talks.
DeRozan. I heard Aldridge in trade talks, maybe.
Yeah, I heard Aldridge wants to go back, all
Portland
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, word.
He been flirting with Portland. I heard that a while. I think he regrets leaving. Yeah, I think he regrets leaving.
One of his homeboy became a superstar while he left. So
yeah. That'd be pretty fire if that. I don't know when he's a free agent either. I'm not sure what his contract is looking like. Anyway, so yeah, that's the trade. Let's talk about this. This is an interesting topic. This was I don't know if you've been on Twitter today, but this was bred from a tweet that I saw because we're talking about the conferences and everything, and Apparently, there's a thing going around that the West is quote unquote weak this year, and that's becoming a popular talking point for people. And now, people are fighting back saying, "Oh, y'all only saying that because LeBron is out here now dominating." But when you look at the actual Western Conference right now, I would say it's underperforming compared to like what we're used to with the West. And B, like, it's not even just opinion, like it's literal fact. If you look at the third seed Dallas Mavericks in the West right now, that would qualify them, that would tie them for fourth in the Eastern Conference, and they would actually be behind Boston because of the record, so they'd be fifth in the Eastern Conference right now.
I think Raw was spaced out.
Okay, yeah, that is that is what I was trying to say. So third seed Dallas would they be fifth in the Eastern Conference right now? So the East actually is performing a little bit better. But anyways, yeah, people are saying that, and then I saw this tweet. I hope I actually saved it. I don't know if I did.
think I saw the same one.
Yeah, they were saying that it's a narrative with LeBron and Giannis. Here it is. So it was one that's saying like LeBron put up MVP numbers and finished with the top seed in the East, like just in general throughout his career. And they're saying that the narrative is that the East is weak and he wouldn't be as dominant in the tough West. First of all, I think if you say LeBron wouldn't be dominant like anywhere in the NBA, I don't think that's ever been the argument for anybody who knows what they're talking about.
No.
You're saying like LeBron would have a tougher time in the West in these previous Western Conference where you have like 850 win teams. Yeah, I think it would be a little bit tougher, but I think this is a little bit extreme. But they're saying like the narrative now is Giannis puts up MVP numbers with the top seed despite facing the even weaker East, which again I don't get that without LeBron. And the narrative is that he's MVP. My whole thing though is like, I think people take it the wrong way when you talk about LeBron through all these years and you talk about like the conferences and the strength of the conferences, because it's just right now that it's a fact the East is better than it normally is. These last 2 years the East has been better. You have like 4 teams this year. Again, there's no runaway winner like we said earlier, and you still have at the end of the day you got Miami, who's a good surprise team. You got Philadelphia here. The Raptors, I don't really expect them to go that far, but they're
still a good team.
Yeah, they have an MVP candidate.
Put together.
Yeah, they're real put together. They have the MVP candidate. You have the Celtics doing well. The Pacers are doing well without Oladipo. The Pacers are 16-9. They're playing really well. The East is good. I don't really see this as like a whole narrative piece they're trying to make. Like, first of all, why does everything got to be about fucking LeBron? Like always.
I don't know, man.
Like,
I don't know.
That's how it's been this whole decade.
These. When somebody else is prospering, it always has to go back to what about LeBron? Like, why? But
LeBron found. Well, I guess they were saying when LeBron was dominating in the East, it was only because he was in the East.
Okay, but the thing is,
the East was looking wild then, though.
Like, yeah, there's one thing. LeBron, we always knew like best player in the NBA for a long time, regardless. Yeah. But okay, when he was in the East and he had these other All NBA talents next to him, like a Kevin Love and Kyrie or Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, right. It's a fact that there was only ever one team in the East that was really challenging. Besides
Boston, Pacers had a little good runs with them.
Yeah, I'm saying so. Like those couple of years in Miami, as Miami was winding down, it was like the Pacers and that was it. Like who else was out there?
People kept getting hurt.
Yeah, everyone was getting hurt.
D-Rose went down.
Miami was strong.
PG
too.
went down.
That was a strong team. Yeah. You go to Cleveland, same thing. Like it's only ever like the most challenge they had at the East for a while was like the Raptors, like DeMar DeRozan and the Raptors. Like I don't think there's any. And then so what's happened now? Look, first of all, I said like in 2018. When LeBron left, he left at like the last possible moment before the East was really coming together. Mm-hmm. Ben Simmons gets on the Sixers, Boston is building their team up, and then you get to where we are right now, where there's 5 or 6, good teams in the East. Like that's not a narrative. That's just what it is right now.
Yeah. Plus, Giannis is Giannis now. Like,
Giannis is Giannis now.
You got Embiid here. It's a lot of players that
developed.
Years have passed. Things have happened. And Giannis, the other thing I think, first of all, that's what I said. LeBron got his just due, bro. He won 4 MVPs.
Absolutely.
He won 4 MVPs. He even when before people really disliked him before he went to Miami, he got 2 MVPs when the East was actually pretty tough back then. When you had the big 3 Celtics,
final runs.
Yeah. So now Giannis is the best player in the Eastern Conference, and now he's taking on that mantle of the MVP. But the other thing is, Giannis is not playing with other All NBA talent.
Yeah, Middleton.
Giannis. Middleton is a good he's a good co-star. But he's not a Dwayne Wade. He's not Kyrie. Like he's not those guys.
He's definitely not AD.
It's
not like a legit big 2 type.
Yeah. And so that irked me because I saw that tweet as kind of like fake outrage because it's like LeBron got his just due, and Giannis is doing what he's doing in a different Eastern Conference, and again. If Giannis had a Dwayne Wade type player right now, or we
look at him funny.
But it'd be crazy. Like then it would be right now if Milwaukee had another guy like that. I think they would probably be the runaway team in the East, just like the Heat were all those years. Yeah. When the Heat, you're like, the Heat are going to the finals. The Cavs are going to the finals.
Even though the Bucks got the best record.
Yeah,
I still believe Philly can beat them in 4. In the series.
That could happen. That's the thing. It's not impossible. It's not some impossibility to think that the Sixers go to the finals this year. It's not. It's not. Miami, depending on some moves they make, they might make a run. Like it was not like that when LeBron was in the East. It just wasn't. That's not a narrative. That's not going to get. That's not. Throwing dirt on his name or whatever. It just wasn't like that. Except for back in the day, way back when we had, KG and Pierce and them, and then like Dwight Howard had a good Magic team and all that. It's different back then, but I don't know. I just found that tweet.
Everything's go back to LeBron. I don't know.
Yeah, everything goes back to him. And
I really believe LeBron be operating some of these Twitter pages.
LeBron ain't got time for burners.
I think everybody got burners.
That's KD.
KD,
you think
millionaire.
LeBron got a burner?
Of course, everybody got a burner. Trust me, everybody has a burner.
I don't know if LeBron got a burner, bro.
Yeah, he got a burner. What you mean? He too busy? All of them should be too busy. All of them got burners.
I think LeBron got like a school he running and shit. Like
he got people that can oversee the Super Bowl. In away games, he got a burner.
Yeah, low
part of LeBron News or LeBron World.
Yeah, one of these LeBron pages is his burner. Man. Yeah, no, I think most NBA players.
Nick Wright probably operate them for him. I don't know. Somebody does.
Yeah, we got players burners out here. But LeBron got his due in a different Eastern Conference. Giannis is in a different East today. It is more competitive. But I didn't even realize until that tweet until somebody responded and said that thing about the West. I didn't realize that the West actually is. Like I said earlier, it is a little bit underperforming right now because you have teams like the Blazers that have fallen back, the Spurs have fell back,
Nuggets,
Jazz.
Oh my God,
yeah, the Jazz. You said the Jazz were going to be disappointing, and so far
y'all believe in Conley. I told y'all boys.
This man has never liked Utah or Conley. Yeah, you never believed in Conley at all. The Warriors, of course, fell off there. The worst team in the NBA today. The Pelicans without Zion. The Grizzlies were bad last year. They're just, trying to do what they can with John Morant. Mm-hmm. And now you have teams like the Kings that have snuck in. The Suns have snuck in. The Minnesota Timberwolves are fighting for it. The Thunder are actually 7th seed, I believe, right now. So, I mean, these are more, towards the end, these are more young and upcoming teams. That's not typical of what you see in the West. Typically in the West, like you have 8 established teams.
So I think it's not necessarily the West necessarily got bad, but I think there's just some of the poverty franchises got better.
And plus, like he said, they underperforming right now.
Yeah, it's been a shift.
Yeah, before the season started, we all thought all these teams gonna be like, watch out for the Jazz, Nuggets coming.
and even though the Spurs have a bad record right now, it's not like you can say they're a horrible team. Like they compete in games, they're just not winning.
Yeah, exactly. They're not.
I think it's more of yes, the East have better records, but we still believe that West has better teams.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, okay, you come down here and you say the Jazz are. Let's look at.
Because I can tell you, a lot of those teams right there could beat the Magic, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you look at a team. Yeah. When you get down there and you look at the Suns, Magic. Like I'll probably roll with the Suns team like that. The Nets without Kyrie, they've been without Kyrie most of this time, and you got the Thunder. Like it's a little bit more even now. Even in the 2-6 seeds, you have the Jazz and Pacers, the Oladipo-less Pacers. But again, the Jazz are massively disappointing right now, so I don't know. But my point with this is that the conferences are simply a little bit closer than they have been these last few years, and now that gets turned into a thing. Yeah, y'all. This is y'all narrative because LeBron is doing good in the West. Like, fam, the numbers are right here. They're right here. This is not. It's not a narrative. They're right here. The Rockets have fell back a little bit because of what doesn't fit with Westbrook and Harden. So
and another thing is, man, he do got AD over there. So stop saying, he go to West dominate now. It's like, fam, he do got.
That's a good ass team.
Another MVP there, man.
Like they got bench, everything.
Yeah, they got everything they need, bro.
Yeah, you got offense, defense.
Yeah, you got AD. You got
shooters.
Great bench. Yeah, you had the Lakers have what they need to get to do what they're doing. Yeah, and respect to them for that. Absolutely.
People gonna make their own fucking narrative.
But right now, this is not the Western Conference from years back. It's like 2015. It had 8 51 teams, and you had Dirk and Monte Ellis and them as the AC with 50 wins. Like right now, this is not that. But it is what it is, man. People are gonna feel how they are going to feel.
I think Warriors injuries really pushed that narrative when they went down. Like, damn.
What?
Like they're not as good. Like they're not good anymore. The West is not as good because of the Warriors mainly.
Oh yeah, I mean the Warriors there, they
plummeted.
Yeah, because they're 5-21. That's so crazy how things are, and they'll be right back at it next year.
They're developing the bench.
Oh, they'll be good next year.
Oh, absolutely. As
long
as everyone's healthy.
Pascal dude.
Yeah.
Plus Clay and Curry.
As long as everyone's healthy.
If D'Lo said it, I don't know if they're gonna move D'Lo or not, but if he
I don't know. Yeah, apparently, there seems like I think the Wolves are interested in him.
I heard
right
he is.
Heat interested in D'Lo?
Yeah, there's all type of rumors going on around right now.
All right. Yeah, I wonder. Can y'all remember his contract? What did he sign for with Golden State?
4 years, right?
117.
Because it was like a trade. It was signed and trade.
Yeah, because
I heard that the Lakers tried to offer him like a 4-year 100, but he took.
Yeah, I heard he turned that down. Right?
Turned that down.
I know y'all. I heard apparently like that article was kind of like miswording it. Like apparently the Lakers had never actually offered him that or something like that. But I guess that talk was out there. Either way, like I know the Lakers are happy they didn't do that. Like they used all that money on on support pieces and everything. The team turned out way better than if they would have just had like LeBron, AD, and Russell, and then like your money's tied up, so now you got you look crazy everywhere else. But yeah, that's about the West. Quote being weak. I don't say the West is weak right now. It's just it's not as good as it's been.
It's underperforming.
Yeah, and that could still change.
That
could easily still change. Like
Conley can figure out how to play the game.
Nah, they wild. Yeah, by the end, we might be looking at like Westbrook being better with the Rockets. I have no clue how that happens, but it could be. Jokic could be back, closer to where he was. The Jazz
20 pounds in 2 weeks. Westbrook found a 3-ball. Yeah, a lot of things happen.
Yeah, so that's just where we are right now. But yeah, shout out to the Lakers because y'all are fucking eating. Let's see. You had on here, where does James Harden rank among?
Yeah, because of his scoring output, people been putting him in. He's the best scorer since Jordan, and I was curious what y'all see him as among the greatest scorers.
I mean, first of all, I did want to point out that I think that was a graph you sent to the group. Like, I did the math. That didn't really add up on that page. I don't know.
It was Bleacher Report, fan. I don't know.
It was basketball because I did the math. Like, I posted it on Twitter, and then people were like, "Yeah, that no way you do the math. This don't work." And I did the math because if y'all don't know, it said something about Harden having one more point than LeBron James like through this decade. And so like I took some years off, even like saying like maybe they didn't count 2009 or whatever. Like I did the math. The math just didn't add up in any way.
So where did math came from?
I have no clue, bro. Like it didn't. I
regular season numbers.
I was like maybe they're not counting some of this year. Like I tried to make it work and it didn't. Either way, he's had crazy numbers. I mean, it's not that far behind. But yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you wrote this on here because I was scrolling through ESPN, YouTube, looking for some of the things that they talk about, and I saw Scottie Pippen said that you already rolling your eyes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Scottie Pippen said that if he played in Houston, because they asked him like, "What you think about Harden's 55-point game in Cleveland the other day?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, it's not much, Harden."
I will say this: Pippen has like the most inconsistent opinion out of anybody who's been an analyst.
Right? Yeah, Scotty, like,
nobody can beat Jordan. LeBron, I never seen him beat. I think he beat Jordan. Nobody greater than Jordan. Like, come on, fam.
He think like 4 different things at the same time. Like, it's crazy.
Like, LeBron's the best player ever. There's
no
never
question,
be
no
debate.
Mike. Like, never be another Mike.
Okay, but anyway, Scotty said that, first of all, he said, like, it's not impressive because, like, he looking off his teammates and all of this, that, and the other thing. But he also said that if he was in Houston's system and D'Antoni's system, the dude asked him, like, what would you get? He's like, I'll give you about 40. Pippen give you 40 in Harden's spot. What do you think about that? And we'll talk more about Harden's scoring place in history, too, but... Yeah, what y'all think about that? Pippen giving something. And by the way, before y'all say that, his best scoring year was in '94 when Jordan was not there at 22 points a game. Different era, of course.
Yeah, pace different.
Everything different.
Possession and all that.
I mean, still, Jordan does have a season of like 36 or 38 as well, even back then. But okay, continue. What y'all think about that? Pippen, is it just the system?
Go ahead.
I mean, I think it might be a little out. I mean, Pippen the baller. Like, let's not discredit that. But like, I mean, I don't know about 40.
First of all, it's a few people that can do 40 a season, fam. He's not one of them. Another thing. Well, I know his argument was pace. My role wasn't ball dominant. My role is to all this stuff. But fam, the average 40.
I'm getting a little bit tired of that.
You got to be a...
And also, with today's NBA, you gotta be a shooter.
Yeah,
at 40. I'm
just getting a little bit tired of the retrospective of with players of I didn't have this or I wasn't in this role. This is what I could have done with today's rules. Like, everybody's.
T-Mac said the same thing. I believe T-Mac.
Yeah, but okay,
T-Mac a little different.
Cooking, but T-Mac was cooking with what we had just like 10 years ago.
All right,
okay, a little bit 11, 12 years ago. Yeah. Like, we know what kind of guy T-Mac was. Right. You know what I mean? I don't see. everybody's not just gonna give you 40 on Harden position. First of all, to be Harden, you have to be able to do everything on offense. You got to be able to play make, because sometimes they double him. Like the Raptors, I think the other day they just double him every time he touched the ball.
Yeah. Well,
so you got to be able to make certain correct passes out of that. You got to be able to shoot the 3 ball, and you got to be able to shoot it off balance with a hand in your face.
And you also got to be able to play the system and get all those fouls called on you.
You got to be able to drive. Like you got to have multiple facets of the offensive game. Like everybody who just like get to take a lot of shots is not going to be cooking with like when I see Harden score 50 now, I'm like, oh yeah, he did that. Like,
like when he said,
he's
when he's
surprised.
I understand he was. When I see 55, I'm not tripping. I know he can do that on a nightly basis, but I'm not saying it's like it's easy, man.
And James Harden is absolutely normal. Back to Westbrook's comments a couple of weeks ago, Harden is absolutely normalizing this stuff.
Because it gets to the point where he drops 50, you immediately go to how many shots he took and how many free throws he took.
And I saw that 55 against Cleveland pop up, and I was like, I just kind of shrugged my shoulder, like I knew.
Like 10 years ago when you dropped 50, you were the best player in the league,
right? Like you dropped 50, like that should be like everywhere for like a couple of days. Like damn, our Kobe hit 50 in a Garden last night. You seen that? Now 50 is just like Harden, like they won by a couple of points. Like they needed that from him tonight. Because of the way.
But that's also because of just how many points teams are scoring now.
Right. But it's creeping up now too, because I see the conversation of Harden being better offensive player or a scorer than Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Like, it's creeping up. Of course, with the amount of hate that Kobe gets, it'll start creeping up sooner or later. Was Harden a better player than Kobe? No. Harden's not all time.
I guess when it comes to the scoring, I don't know how often Kobe got to the line, but you got to take in the free throws that Harden able to get. And again, during that time, I don't think Kobe shot as much threes as Harden. So,
nobody.
Harden shoots like half his shots are threes.
Yeah, like 14 attempts a game or something like that.
Yeah, like it's so crazy. I looked up. I needed to look up the Dallas and Thunder series that happened or the Dallas and Lakers series when they swept y'all back in 2011.
Yeah, come on, I know. Bring that shit up.
But anyways, and I looked in that for that whole series, Dirk only shot like 18 threes, I think, the whole series. I'm like, bro, like you'll catch that in like 2 games these days in the playoff. Like a superstar too, focal point. Yeah, they'll catch like 18 threes after like a game or two, you know what I mean? Probably about two or three games. Yeah, I found that crazy. But yeah, it's hard. So you brought up T-Mac though. Is Harden a better scorer than T-Mac then? Is that where we're going with this Harden thing? Do you remember T-Mac? A lot of people, testify him as being like one of the most gifted scorers ever. Like it's just a health caught up with him, obviously. But
Ron, you got anything to say?
Come on, T-Mac is like my favorite player. Of course, I'm gonna stand for him.
I can't do it.
Because Harden is kind of give you 50 on a regular basis. And again, it's just getting so hard to compare these guys. Yeah. Like even 10 years ago, like game is just different as hell now with the shots that you're allowed to take and how many. And like it is a lot different. So I'm not even sure like how you would scale this anymore.
It's to me the free throw is throwing me off a little bit. Cause I see his end game scoring, but you see his attempts and see like T-Mac or Kobe, they don't go to the free throw line that much, so it's hard for me to compare it.
Do you have a problem with Harden's free throws?
Well, I guess when it comes to scoring, even though it's part of scoring, it's not as like you get it on your own, like you going against defenders. So it's hard for me to gauge the free throw.
Right.
I don't know how to put that into that argument. But
because also it's just and you account that if he reached 2 free throws, give or take that he did take, that was technically a shot attempt. So he's really technically shot the ball like 50, 60 times some games. So it's just stuff like that you're thinking about.
Right.
And some people don't like how Harden plays. You know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but the step back is nasty, man.
Yeah. I just when it comes to Harden, I hope I want to see the day that he ends up with the title to validate everything that's happened in the last few years.
I think that's all he really needs.
Because I can already see this coming down the tunnel. If he doesn't win a championship, the people who dislike him now, or the treatment that's coming, they will be like, he did a bunch of shit that didn't work in the playoffs. He did a bunch of shit in the regular season that didn't ever win anything in the playoffs. Yeah. Even though his numbers,
Yeah, because they used to have that narrative about Jordan because you're like, he just wins scoring titles, but he's never going to win a ring. And then until he did.
Yeah, and I definitely hope I'm around if that championship comes. And that's why in the West it's a bit interesting this year because you look back at it and of course it's a different Rockets team now, but you kind of forget James Harden for the last couple of years has led the only team that was really competitive in a series with the Kevin Durant Warriors. You know what I mean? And so now there's no Kevin Durant Warriors around. I wonder what happens in the playoffs this year. You unleash him on a team that can't overwhelm.
The problem with that is that KD going, but now you got another monster.
Nothing like the Warriors though.
No, like that. But I don't see how Harden could dominate AD and LeBron.
Yeah, but the
team.
difference is that front court help is a lot harder. Like defensive help is a lot harder to come by.
You know, the fact that he had to come back 24 in Cleveland, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and they had some bad losses this week, but
and Westbrook, we know how great Westbrook is, but he just not effective on his team.
If Westbrook doesn't end up picking up his play, do you see Houston trying to make a move eventually with that? Like, I mean, not pick up his play or fit.
Trade him again?
Well, I'm saying, because again, back to the point I was just saying, Harden has led the charge on the
what they thought
team.
was what they were expecting from Westbrook.
He said, "What were they expecting?" I mean, I guess
3-ball
again. That's what I said. I was like, "Let's just 3-pointer." I mean, again, because Rondo was a decent shooter now too. So
I don't know what happened to Rondo. Rondo
splashing.
I know. I don't know what happened.
So I guess they were hoping that since Westbrook knows he has to play this role, like, you know, lethal shooter, come out the woodworks, like. And
I think Westbrook hitting like 23%, 29% from three.
Yeah, it's not looking pretty.
Well, because what I wonder with Houston is, like, you know, you think of all possible outcomes, and if you're Houston, you think like. Despite what the narrative say like Harden's play isn't successful in the playoffs, but the reality is that he's put up some good numbers in the playoffs, and he's almost beaten the Warriors team a couple of times, and even in 2018 when that was the only, you know, they were the only team to give the Warriors a good series. You know what I mean? In 2018, I can't remember. Yeah, anyways, you get the point. He's the only one where we ever thought if we were like, if anyone's gonna beat KD Warriors, it's gonna be James Harden in Houston.
Right.
So now I wonder, like, you know, how far do you go in the season before you realize, like, is Westbrook going to hold this back in the playoffs? Because once you, again, the system.
I don't know. I just know Westbrook the perfect shield when it comes to criticism. Oh, he gets it all. So if it is the case, they're gonna try to move him. I don't know what you're gonna get for him.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. By the way,
His
I
contract's
don't think it's
crazy.
gonna happen either.
I don't even know where or
His
anything.
contract is massive. So
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't have any.
I just feel bad for Westbrook, man, because
I mean, yeah, like I said, when I say he's playing bad this year, I try to change it to he don't fit his role, which I've been saying, like.
But we know he couldn't shoot. Everybody had this thing. I don't know how they're going to fit this team. And
in the beginning of the season, it worked out a little bit better than
it
it's
seemed
working
like
right
Harden
now.
doing more work
right
than last year. So.
Yeah, because the one thing I didn't think was going to happen, because like Harden has been doing the dribble thing for a while now. The one thing I didn't think was going to happen was that we were going to come to this year and it was going to be the same. I thought it was going to be more synergy between.
Really, he got even worse.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be more synergy between those two. Like, I didn't think it was going to be. Yeah, I just thought they were going to try to find a way to work together. Because when Westbrook was doing good earlier this season, it was more like he was kind of doing his own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than them two actually like playing off of each other. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing I didn't think was going to happen. But yeah, as far as
Only thing I know is a plus is the fast break. So when Westbrook's charged the fast break, is kick it out harder, bust a three.
Right.
But other than that,
I mean,
that
Houston,
half court game. I don't
I mean,
know.
Houston
man.
does average more rebounds and has a faster pace compared to last year.
Yeah.
I think Westbrook does a
But
big
the
part
half
of
court
that.
game, you on your own, fam.
Right. So I think the last topic we'll look at, yeah, we pretty much talked about most of the NBA topics here. Carmelo Anthony said a couple of things about the Knicks. Actually, they fired Fizdale last week, so we know that's been a dumpster fire. Which, by the way, I saw some comments. People were saying I forgot Fizdale and Gasol had that's balloon. I forgot Fizdale and Gasol had kind of had problems before Fizdale left Memphis. It was like, who has a problem with Gasol ever? Like, I didn't see Marc Gasol as
Mark?
Yeah.
Wow.
When people were saying like, oh, you know, because I was basing it off of like how far Memphis had went one time or whatever, but apparently like he wasn't, you know.
He coached the Grizzlies or the
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Grizzlies, yeah. But anyways, Carmelo Anthony said some things. He said he tried to I saw an article that said he tried to convince the Knicks to sign him to lure Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant this summer. That didn't end up happening. But anyways, he said that he hopes the New York ends up retiring his jersey, though. And I had been wondering if that's going to happen in any franchise either, in any way either, because, you know, Denver is not going to happen. Jokic's already wearing 15.
They disrespected Melo by giving that man 15. Man.
Yeah, because he did. Because in my opinion, he did enough in Denver to.
They don't. Hey, he
retire.
got booed last night in Denver. Can you believe that? I thought he was gonna, because of like everything that's happened in the last year, and now he's kind of like successful.
No, they don't. They keep fans boo until you retire.
But what I'm saying is
T-Mac was
he
old.
went out.
Like he played for like Atlanta.
He left.
Magic was still booing him.
Word?
He left Nuggets on bad terms.
Yeah, he forced his way out of Denver. Yeah, he forced his way out. He said straight up in the
Well,
press
I know
conference.
he forced. Well, I didn't know it was like ugly, like Dwight leaving.
I mean, it wasn't like as complicated as Dwight, but it was like, yeah. I remember a press conference. He was like, I don't think, you know, I can win a championship here. I don't think this is where it's gonna happen. And yeah, he bounced.
Come on, man.
But I mean, that wasn't like
Take it in,
what?
man.
That wasn't like 2010, and we're about to be in 2020.
Damn, 10 years, man.
I thought they were gonna be happy to see him last night because
I got Jokic. What's y'all issue is?
But anyways, yeah. So Denver, they don't have any love for him, and no, his jersey not getting retired there because Jokic got his 15 anyways. They don't fuck with Denver.
That's crazy.
That's interesting. But so the Knicks here, y'all think that's he think he did enough in New York to get it retired there?
I give him it.
Think so?
He's the only stretch of time where they are relevant between the last time he went to the finals and now.
That's crazy, but
That's
it's true.
That is true.
Since '99, the only relevant Knicks.
How many years he spent there?
He did part of 11 there, then he did 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16. He was there until he was there for missing.
He went to OKC years. After that. Yeah.
And he tried.
Yeah.
Legitimately tried.
Oh, yeah, so number 7 up in the Raptors. I don't know who else the Knicks had. I'm assuming the Knicks retired. Like
he didn't get nobody in a while after that, boy.
Yeah.
20 years and find another player.
Yeah, if I was the Knicks, have something positive going on, I'd retire Melo.
I don't know about Dolan. He weird.
Yeah, that's a weird ass dude. All right, so yeah, we're all.
It's Miami retired LeBron jersey, right?
Who?
LeBron.
I mean, they retired Shaq, so did they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, with Miami.
Yeah,
Miami
so
fucking better.
So if they retired Shaq, they're definitely gonna retire LeBron.
Miami better, bro.
Yeah,
I know Pat Riley wasn't exactly happy with how that whole thing went down, but
we got 2 rings over because
2 rings. He won 2 MVPs there. Who you gonna let wear number 6 there again?
Right?
Yeah, they retired Bosh too already, I believe, because he wasn't.
But he had like blood issues.
Yeah, so we know what. Yeah, 3, 6, and 1 all got retired.
Yeah,
that's
what about Haslam?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
he's like a Tony Allen type. The Grizzlies.
I'm saying ain't he like their leading rebounder?
Yeah, I think he is. And
I just know you got weird numbers like 11 and
40 going up.
But no, it's more so what he's to the city.
In the community.
He's an icon.
No, in community. He led him rebounding in the 06 finals, hitting the top of the key, them shots, the top of the key
mid range.
Everybody know about his top of the key mid range back then, bro.
Killing on 2K, bro.
Hasn't getting retired. Hasn't getting retired, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to. All right, so yeah, we are on. I think that's about it for the basketball section. How long are we at right now? We are okay, cool. Yeah, let's add no more basketball topics for y'all. Y'all are good.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's Raptors. We did that. Apparently, the Knicks are thinking about hiring Jason Kidd to Larry Honest.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, whatever. I heard they want to go after Ingram too. Whatever.
We'll go after everybody.
Yeah, whatever. The CP3 delay of game, for those of y'all who didn't know, I mean, everybody saw it. You saw the delay of game?
That was smooth though, man.
That was smooth, right? Couldn't nobody be mad at that at all.
I didn't know that was a delay of game though.
I didn't either. That's the thing. You read the rule book, like you just know these things.
You can't have untucked shirts and jerseys.
Well, you can't check into the game.
You can't check into the game.
Because like the NBA, I guess, is all about like pace, like speed it up. So like I guess that takes time for you to like tuck in your jersey. So like they like. But Chris Paul called it out, and the thing was that was integral in them coming back and winning.
Yeah,
because usually one delay is when you have multiple delay games. That's when you start shooting technicals. So it's usually not a big deal, but because of timing.
And the crazier thing about that is the Thunder and the Wolves are mad close in the standing. So if we get to the end of the year and like it's like one game off and the Thunder make the playoffs and the Wolves didn't, bro, they got that'd be crazy.
I can't knock for making a chess move. So
hey, yeah, bro, that was a G move by Chris Paul. So I did not read the standings last week. My bad. So this week, the Milwaukee Bucks are first. I think they've won something crazy like 13 or 14 games
15,
straight.
I think it's 15.
They have the same exact record as the Lakers, and they're on a collision course in 6 days they'll be playing. So I cannot wait for that. Oh, I can't wait for that. The 76ers, despite a rough start, are now 19-7. They are second. Miami is third. They are 18-6. Celtics, yeah, we've fallen off a little bit. We 17-7 at 4. Raptors 5, Pacers 6. The Nets have hung on without Kyrie. They're 7th. And the Magic are 8th.
Magic boy.
Yeah, the playoffs in the East look exactly how we all said they would right now. Like these are the 8 teams we said would be there. And the Magic have a 2-game lead over Charlotte. So I expect that to sustain. I think that'll probably be the 8 playoff teams unless something drastic happens. Over on the West side, the Lakers are 22-3. The Clippers are 3.5 games behind them at 19-7. Mavs are 3rd. Houston Rockets 4th, Nuggets 5th, Jazz 6th, OKC 7th, and Suns 8th. And they are actually, the Suns and the Kings are actually tied for 8th right now. So yeah, very close race out there. All right, so let's just a couple of topics before we wrap up. The let's see, do we want to go to games? Did y'all see the Black Widow trailer?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
yet.
I saw it.
You saw it. What did you? Because you remember Black Widow from
yeah,
Avengers. It's interesting that that's how they're kicking off the next phase of Marvel, I believe.
I mean,
they're the first. She's the first movie.
For me personally, I kind of don't view her movie as like a part of Phase 4, even though it is Phase 4 because of where it fits in the timeline.
Right.
So Jerry's still gonna be on Phase 4 on how it eventually does.
This is her time as a spy and all that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where this fits in.
I don't know how it
between.
fits in the timeline, but for
It gotta be
what
before she
happened,
dead.
for what happened.
Do you know the name of the guy in that trailer? They say he's like some famous character. You know the.
He looks familiar, but I don't know.
Is Zemo? I gotta watch the trailer. I don't know.
Yeah, the trailer looked fire. I just thought that it's kind of weird to have like Black Widow after all those happened. You know, like I feel like this would have been perfect back in the before the event. I don't know if the movie would have been successful back then, but before the first Avengers, I feel like that kind of would have been perfect. But I'm not. I think this is like. I think I even heard this is like maybe between like Civil War or something like that.
Well, I know she got a long history in the comics, so you can milk her for years if you wanted to.
Right. If it feels kind of y'all don't know anything about her really history.
I don't know. She was all mystery. She's a spy. She was trained as a killer as a child in Russian KGB. Mm-hmm. She go anywhere with that.
Yeah, so. But I don't know any comic book specifics about her.
She can't have children because they want her to be. They took her little eggs and burned them or something. I don't know what's going on.
What the fuck,
right, Richard?
Yeah, they did something. I don't think that's they did something like.
I know. Yeah, they did sterilize her. Yeah. Hell of a description, but to get everybody canceled. Anywho, it's a weird way to kick off the next phase though, with a character that is A, dead, and B, played such a big part in last phase. You know what I mean? It feels kind of like a tag along a little bit.
I thought Hawkeye was in this.
Is it? I didn't see him in the trailer.
I don't know.
It's like her family in this. It's like a sister.
Yeah.
Some you probably know the character because you're very well versed in comic books. But yeah, that's how we'll be kicking off Phase 4 with Black Widow, and then I'm not sure what else comes out next year.
I thought Hawkeye would have a series with her.
Oh no! Hawkeye is having his series with. Hawkeye has a series.
Scarlet?
That's not till later on.
Yeah, no. It's just he just has a standalone series. I think it's just called Hawkeye, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not until the 20s, bro.
Okay,
yeah.
I know that.
And that's also interesting because
he's
still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. So he is.
Yeah,
all of them will still be vital. Yeah, so that makes sense because they'll all still be vital. We did not catch this on podcast. The whole reveal they had. Remember they showed like some of the Eternals and everything. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
They showed Eternals. They showed. I'm blanking on some of the important stuff. The other important things that they showed there.
I'm not very interested in Eternals. Well, I was never a big fan of Eternals. I know some new god stuff, but I don't know.
What exactly? That don't have nothing to do with Thanos? I thought I could have sworn it did.
Indirectly. But they like a superhuman race of outer space people. That's not Thanos. Not in that. They in the same storyline, but Thanos dead, so I don't know how they gonna.
I would like to see some of the younger, stuff with younger Thanos.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah, but yeah.
They show Adam Warlock in this trailer. Reveal.
Mm-mm.
No,
they showed a still from the Bucky and Sam. That thing they're doing.
Is he really black? Captain America, or he's still Falcon?
They gave him the shield at the end.
So he flying with the shield. Come on, that looks stupid.
In the comics, didn't he?
It still looks stupid.
Recently,
in the comics, he actually put the stripes on.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He wasn't flying one of those.
I mean, I don't think he'll still be
American Eagle.
I think he's actually gonna be Captain America. I don't think he's gonna be like Falcon.
He still be flying.
They gonna like, yo, what's up with the black skin now?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're doing with it. What's the name of that show? It's something in Bucky or whatever. Is it Sam and Bucky?
I just know you can't fly with a shield. You look stupid.
They had them same.
I saw the graphic for it, but I can't remember.
You used
the
to
name.
be bouncing.
It's like something in the Winter Soldier or something like that.
Yeah, something because they didn't reference Captain America in the title or anything.
Winter Falcon, I think it's called.
I don't think that's it. All right, yeah. The very last thing that I just wanted to see if y'all had seen the Black Widow trailer. Did y'all see I know you saw the new Xbox.
Like a desktop.
You saw it
too? Looks like a tower, literally.
Right? Yeah. Hey, it's interesting.
Looks clunky.
It's interesting because it literally, I think that's what they're going for too. Literally, it looks like a PC. But
how big is this thing?
It just looks like a rectangle, bro.
I think it looked like a subwoofer. It's big enough that I don't think it's gonna fit in my entertainment system over here. I find it interesting because I think the whole thing, and Rod is more in tune with this, like whole thing about consoles is that they're convenient as opposed to like a PC, because a PC you gotta build, you gotta maintain, and it's huge, like you see my PC over there. So with the console, it's supposed to be like you plug and play and put it somewhere convenient and it looks nice. But the Xbox is clearly not gone that route.
Yeah, usually consoles have some sort of like sleek design.
Yeah, no sleek about it.
Some so aesthetically to the eye to some extent, but this is a box.
It looks the X series,
X series X,
and the
like,
name too.
Do you know how confused like grandmothers are gonna be trying to buy this for their like kids next? They're gonna fuck around and get the wrong one because like you got the
and
Xbox.
Also, there's also
One.
gonna be like a second version that's like gonna be like a little bit weaker or something.
Yeah.
So it released the same time with PS5.
Yeah, holiday season next year.
Ooh,
Yeah, you're gonna have the Xbox Series X, the Xbox One X, the Xbox One. Like grandma's gonna be confused as shit in there trying to Xbox Series X, and then whatever like Rod said, whatever they named the the other version of this. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it seems like they're kind of blurring the line between PC and consoles because like there's been that whole thing that you have a previously in these last generations you have a reason to get a console versus a PC, but like this even looks like a PC. I'm assuming that's really what they're going for is trying to get that make it one of the more powerful consoles as well. So I don't know. It just kind of feels
What's
like
the price tag?
Well, I mean, the thing about
I don't know yet.
It's never going to surpass PC because consoles are like a snapshot in time because you can't. They more or less don't get upgraded unless you do like a pro version. But
yeah, I hate that.
Versus
shit.
PCs, like new cards and stuff is coming out constantly, which is why it can become very expensive.
Yeah, apparently with the PS5, they're going to be selling right off the bat. They're going to be selling like they did with the PS4, like how you have a PS4 then PS4 Pro. Apparently, it's going to be like a PS5 and then a PS5 Pro like on launch day this time. So instead of like having it years later, like they're going to have the upgraded version sold at launch. So
I gotta get one of those, man.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And then I know y'all probably didn't see any footage of the PS5 game they showed last night, but it's for PS5 and PC. It's called Godfall, and it didn't look a whole lot different. That's why I was asking you if it was PC footage or if it was PS4 or PS5, because like it just didn't look like a huge jump from the PlayStation 4. I think it's going to be hard for them to kind of go places graphically from.
But my thing is that's going to be hard to show graphics like that when you're watching like on your phone, laptop versus your 4K TV.
I guess, but also like bro, when PS4 came out, like I could tell the difference between 2K on PS4 and on PS3. Like what I mean, I could see in that game called Knack. That was like one of the first PS4 games. Like I could clearly see right there that shit was like elite compared to like the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 3 games. I don't know. I'll show y'all the Godfall trailer later, but if they told me if it was for PS4, it could pass. So. I don't know. We'll see what happens when they release some of these sports games. And I think that'll pretty much be it today. We got everything we wanted here. Got all the extra topics. Eric, you have some extracurricular written down here, but like I don't think that's for this podcast. Yeah, I don't think that fits the themes
at all.
All right, so yeah, we go see y'all next Saturday. Thanks y'all for watching. If it's easier for you to digest on Spotify and iTunes, it is on both in the links in the comment section and description. Be sure to be sub to the channel and hit the notification bell for when we drop every Saturday, and we will see y'all on the next one.